Hello everyone, this is I, the Moonshadow Specter, and today I am going to go back into the Insanity series and I hopefully finish it up, because apparently I'm not done. You may notice that the background is different, but that is only because I'm on vacation while making this video, and the reason I'm not doing mascots and war is because Press Start to Laugh has not brought out Boxy Boo, but when this is currently made. It may be out, but by the time you're watching this, I do not know. If I did not say it already, this will also be the answer to the riddle, because I know I said I was going to do it in a couple of weeks, but I never really got that many views on that video, so I felt like it was unneeded. That was until a few days ago when I saw I had 6 views, which is not a lot, I know, but I'm guessing some people are generally curious. Anyway, let's begin. Amanda the Adventurer is a mascot horror game about a young person named Riley who gets a letter from their Aunt Kate that tells them they now have a house in Kensdale and a request from Aunt Kate to go into the attic and check something out. And for those who think Riley is a her, she, or a she, her, I will most likely be calling them they, them, because it never really tells us what gender she is, what gender they are. If I use she or her in the video at all, I do apologize at all if it offends anyone. Anyway, to the video. Like I said, it all starts with her getting a letter from her Aunt Kate for one simple request and to move to the house in Kensdale. In this request, she asks Riley to go up into the attic of the house and check something out. She goes up there and she finds a whole museum of memorabilia from an old TV show known as Amanda the Adventurer, which is about a young girl. Oh, and by the way, I do apologize for all the noise. On this particular day, it is going to be raining all day, so I do apologize. Anyway, a whole museum of memorabilia from the show Amanda the Adventurer, which is about a young girl going on different adventures with her companion, Wooly. When she goes up to a black box TV, she finds a tape that says "in the kitchen," if I remember correctly. She plays it and she starts to watch. She then starts to speak to the TV the characters in the TV, Amanda and Wooly, now are acting as if they are talking directly to her, and though few actions are unsettling to Riley at times, she decides to go through the entire thing. Now, during this entire encounter, she also realizes that there are certain puzzles in both the outside world and the television. In the television, it shows it gives her the instructions to make an apple pie, which is just putting apples in a tin, then baking it on, what was it, 475 degrees, if I remember correctly, for 40 to 30 minutes, which is not actually how you make a pie. They turn off the TV and turn around and are somewhat surprised by seeing a literal oven on a wooden table in the middle of the room. She starts to follow the instructions and in the end gains a new tape called In Your Neighborhood, where she then has to go through this entire other types of puzzles. I apologize for that sound. And it continues to go until one specific tape, Everything Rots. In the end of Everything Rots, they decide to say yes to the final question, which was, do you think everything runs? In which Amanda then responds, I was afraid you'd say that. Which then comes the weird part. A being or deity or some type of thing comes crawling out the hatched door to enter the attic and starts crawling around and then attacks Riley. However, Riley is then sent back in time to where she first saw the tape. And then she remembers a certain thing. During accidents, she remembers seeing all these clocks back in the first round. And when she put a grandfather clock to 4:15, she remembered a code 2826 and then unlocks a metal safe. The reason why she didn't do it earlier was because after everything rots, the metal safe turned to cardboard and was then inaccessible. She opens the safe and gets half of a poster that explains a few different flowers and a potato. She then places on a thumbtack board and then is shown a little code of both symbols and flowers and a potato. She then also gains a different tape, if I remember correctly. Oh no, she also gains a pause button that she places in the TV, pauses it, and looks in the back at a refrigerator that shows to set the oven to 575. She pauses the episode and walks over to the oven, which then she turns it to 575 degrees, which when she looks back at the TV, an entire flame erupts and the entire tape is down. The tape comes out and, well, she goes through the entire puzzles again, but however, something different happens. In the episode In Your Neighborhood, the ending shows every single building burned down, all because Riley led Amanda to a chop shop or a butchery or whatever you guys want to call it. She didn't want to be here for a few specific reasons, which you'll find if you watch Super Horror Bro Mike, which is another YouTuber I'm subscribed to, and I recommend. He shows a lot of good work. He does a lot of good work of doing his horror videos, and he does a great job explaining theories and entire storylines of each horror game, whether it be Mascot or something else. Anyway, after this, in the end of the second round, she ends up going to the same butchery she tried to take Amanda, and therefore became an entire slave to Amanda's whim for some demonic stuff. I can't really explain it here. I don't know if I'll get demonetized or not. Anyway, now is the time. Now we will move on to the theories of what I think is going on in this universe. I think Riley is actually a descendant of Arthur. I say this because Arthur was once Stanley in the Stanley Parable, where every single time he got an ending, he would always be sent back to the start. I think this might be a curse on that family line, for whenever there's a specific point in time, they always loop back somehow. I think it's either a curse or a blessing, I don't really know. What I do know is that it allows them to evade harm at all costs. For example, in the Stanley Parable, Stanley was unable to be crushed by a giant stomping machine, and Riley was not technically kidnapped by the entity in Amanda the Adventurer, nor was she attacked by it. I have another theory, though, which I will explain in the final episode of this entire series. Now, there is one more thing, if not being addressed. Aunt Kate, I think, is a direct descendant, like if I had to guess, the literal daughter of Arthur, or possibly the daughter of one of Arthur's descendants, because the entire world then is dried up, mostly from the sea and raft. In the end, though, I think Riley is a descendant of Arthur, and their entire family is cursed by having to remain in a forever loop until they get all endings or get the good ending in the end. Sorry, just said end a lot. Anyway, now is the answer to the riddle. My riddle was, if you have me, you'll see things as normal. If you don't, you'll see things clearly. What am I? The answer to this is your sanity. For those who don't know what sanity is, it's basically the only thing stopping you from tearing everything up and going completely insane. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This is the Moonshadow Specter signing off.